Tim, can you see why it's so hard for athletes to try and get rid of that stigma?
Well, I have a sister. She's a sophomore in college, and most of her guy friends are hockey players. And having been a hockey player my whole life, I just know what goes on in the locker room. Stuff they talk about, just hooking up with all these girls, bringing girls home, different girls home every like weekend, and just trying to fit into that guys being guys persona. And I mean, I've told her before, like, watch out for the hockey players, and I've like realized that not all hockey players are the same. There's a few that try to fit into that, just that stereotypical bubble, just fulfilling that, just trying to be disrespectful and trying to just be that womanizer. But most of the guys are like the most respectful guys out there, and it's hard to avoid falling into that stereotype. But at the same time, I think you need to give everybody like just an equal chance. Like, you have to get to know like just the inside of hockey players. Don't just judge a book by the cover. Like, just because you see them wearing a Bauer sweatshirt doesn't mean that they're always going to be dicks. So.
All right, so Brian, having been a non-athlete in your freshman year in college, and then being on the hockey team your sophomore year, how have you experienced the firsthand, like, the perception of athletes in college?
I think I've had a pretty unique ride, being able to see the perception of an athlete and what a team is perceived as and what a player is perceived as. For me, coming in to college, I wasn't an athlete, and having played hockey my whole life, I was jealous. I was kind of jealous of all athletes, all teams, especially the hockey players. I wouldn't go to a game. I kind of bought into the stereotype at first that these players are better, think they're better than us, think they're better than the school. And then being lucky enough to actually make the team and play, I slowly got to meet the guys and realize most of these guys are great people, and on every team you're gonna have some players that that fit the stereotypes. But for the most part, I didn't see it on our team. What was most interesting with me was the friends that I had made before hockey knew me as one way, but then once I made the team and made new friends, they perceived me in a whole different way. So it was really funny to see how I could have all my friends from before I played hockey and then play hockey and still be perceived in the same way by them. But then once I started playing, people, some girl said that night, all you guys walk around in your Bauer jackets thinking you're the shit. But obviously that's not how I walk around or how any of us walk around. But it's funny how different people can develop different perceptions about you as an athlete.
Do you think that perception of being a college athlete has changed over time? Do you think it just takes time for non-athletes to realize what's really inside of like the true person that's within a college athlete?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's on the athlete too. Again, like being able to see both sides. I came in pretty level-headed. I think it'd be much harder for an athlete who came in as a recruited athlete to, having not been able to experience life as a non-athlete, it'd probably be hard for him to understand, the way he's perceiving himself and showing himself to others. But I guess at times, probably when I first started, I maybe bought into it a little bit more than I should have, but having that solid ground of not being an athlete for the first year and a half, 2 years of my college life really allowed me to kind of stay true to the person I was and kind of present myself as I would to anyone, whether I was playing a sport or not.